What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each one of you. And today, it's time for Side Hustle Saturday. We are going to be talking about some business strategies, marketing, more specifically like marketing strategies for small businesses. So I can't wait to get into that. But before we get started, y'all know I always have to do my social media check. So that is what I'm doing real quick to make sure we are good on all ends. And then we're going to get into it. All right, hold on. Okay, there we go. We are good there. And let me check one other spot to make sure we're okay there as well. All right, so it looks like we are good on all ends. All right, so I always want to say, offer my gratitude, offer my appreciation. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported my channel in any form or fashion, from watching a video, sharing a video, liking a video, making a comment, however you've done it. Of course, I want y'all to subscribe, but however you have supported my channel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for rocking with me. So to the new people, the old people, I really and truly appreciate it, okay? And if you find this information helpful, save it to your playlist, share it with a friend, tell other people about my channel, because I want to make sure I'm getting out helpful information to you guys, okay? All right, now, if you have never checked out Side Hustle Saturday, you are in for a treat. So Side Hustle Saturday originated, I don't know, a couple years ago, when I was definitely in my side hustle bag and I was doing a whole bunch of different side hustles. And I usually would give y'all like an income report and an update on the side hustles I have been doing, or the side hustles I have been trying, what I liked, what I didn't like, that kind of thing, especially when I was big with the mystery shopping, my notary work, and all of that. So then I kind of got away from Side Hustle Saturday, but I promise y'all that at least once a month I would come on and do Side Hustle Saturday. And so now, instead of I don't do as much as my side hustles anymore, but I give you some business tips, or I try to shout out other small businesses. So we have another segment as part of Side Hustle Saturday called Small Business Saturday. So if you have your own business, small business, and if you would like to be featured on a Side Hustle Saturday, then please send me a message either through my IG or email me. My email is provided on my YouTube channel so that I can see about you coming on for a Side Hustle Saturday so that we can highlight and feature your business, okay? So at least once a month, I'm going to come on and share some business topics with you. Now, y'all know I like a good song. So we do have a Side Hustle Saturday song. So I am going to go ahead and do that. And I got a couple of really quick church announcements as well. So I'm going to do the Side Hustle Saturday song, and then we're going to do the church announcements, and then we're going to get into it, y'all. If you saw the topic or whatever, it's just a candid conversation. We're gonna be real laid back. I have very general notes, so I'm not liable for what might come out of my mouth or whatever. But I had some important observations that I made over the past couple of weekends, and I was like, I need to share this with the people, okay? But let me go ahead and do the Side Hustle Saturday song. All right, y'all ready? If you know it, please go ahead and sing along with me. Here we go. It's Side Hustle Saturday, Side Hustle Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. It's Side Hustle Saturday. All right, that is our Side Hustle Saturday song. Y'all, also, it's going to be very laid back. Let's see. I see I already got some comments. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I be talking. All right, so Still Rock says, we in here. He is one of my A1 day ones, so good to see you, Still Rocks. And then Notary World, what's up? Good to see you back. She says, let's go. All right, so like I said, it's going to be real casual, y'all. I'm already sipping on something. This is probably better for Tipsy Tuesday, but this is going to be a relaxing weekend for me. So I plan on enjoying myself, and I plan on having a good time as I'm talking to you guys, too. All right, couple of church announcements. So y'all know Tipsy Tuesday is every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have not checked it out, I don't know what you're waiting on, okay? So we just finished wrapping up our series where we were talking about the book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I do not know what the topic is going to be about on this coming Tuesday. It's probably going to be a business topic as well, especially as I'm wrapping up for the end of the year. We're approaching the final quarter of the year. I'm actually thinking about focusing more on business topics. Y'all let me know though if that is something that y'all are interested in hearing, like small business strategies, things of that nature, or talking about things that you might struggle with when it comes to business, when it comes to money. Let me know so that I can develop some future topics around that. So Tipsy Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, be sure to tune in at 10 p.m. And I'm going to be, right now, I've decided to focus more on business topics. Okay. So those are just your few really quick church announcements that we had. All right. Let's see. And Still Rocks. He says, I'm drinking water and active. That's good. Oh, and Activia. Okay. I thought you were saying you were active. See, I gotta make sure I'm seeing. I drank some water earlier, but yeah, I'm staying hydrated. I got my water though right beside me. Just in case I'm staying hydrated as well. But yeah, I'm just trying to have a very relaxing weekend. Your girl has been outside the past 2 weekends and I'm ready to stay inside and turn up and have a good time. So that is what I'm planning on doing this weekend, is stay inside, but still have a good time. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. The past couple of weekends, y'all know, 2 weekends ago, I was in ATL at InvestFest, which was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. I talked about it on the Tipsy Tuesday a couple of weeks ago, so please be sure to check that out. But they have, as part of InvestFest, they have a vendor marketplace where there are like hundreds of vendors that are out there showcasing their products and things. And I want to talk about, there were some things that I observed at the vendor marketplace regarding small businesses that, you know, I won't say mistakes or whatever, but things I don't want you to make in your small business, as well as some things that I observed that were, you know, good strategies or good tactics that you should incorporate as part of your business. So we're going to talk about that. So that was a couple of weeks ago. So like I said, that's kind of like what sparked this topic. And then last weekend, I was at a food truck festival, which was, oh my gosh, it was so good as well. But there were a lot of vendors, food truck vendors, as well as, mainly just food truck vendors. There were a few other little vendors, like my husband, he had his business there as well, but mainly the food trucks. And then the vendors, since we had to set up early, you know, we were talking amongst ourselves and things of that nature. But just looking at how people did different things, I was like, all of these different vendors out here, all of the different vendors I saw at InvestFest, like, we are all small businesses and I want us all to be successful, but there are some things that we are not quite doing correctly that I need to get into. Let me see. I see you got a comment too, Stillbox. So let me look at that really quickly. Stillbox. I hope this is a good thing. He says, I put my resignation in for the security job working overnight. Isn't working out with full time. My school and daughter back in school. I'm going to get back on the mystery shops. All right. I'm sorry that didn't work out with your schedule and everything. And I'm wondering too, what other stuff, the mystery shopping, like, even though I've gotten away from the mystery shopping, I think I told y'all, my husband, he still does it. Like, I just don't have as much time and I don't have as much patience with it anymore. Y'all know your girl is, lately I've been bad about doing the mystery shops and not wanting to submit the reports or forgetting to submit the reports. It's just, well, and things are picking up in my regular business, or they've definitely increased in the regular business, and just juggling different things that I don't have as much free time. And the free time that I do have, I have been prioritizing me and making sure that, like even this weekend, like there have been a few people who have contacted me about notary work. I have told them that I'm not available, that kind of thing. So even though I am, even though I could do it or whatever, I'm like, I need a Saturday to myself. I need a weekend to myself and not running around and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But still, Rocks, I am confident in the fact that you will find something to do to make some extra income, whether it's mystery shopping or something else that you end up picking up. And that is a good segue because this is Side Hustle Saturday. And y'all know I was doing a whole bunch of side hustles, the mystery shopping, the notary work, even like the laundry stuff. I was selling stuff on Mercari, which y'all, I am going to get back into selling stuff on Mercari. Only reason I'm getting back into that is because like this weekend, I'm cleaning up a whole lot of stuff, getting rid of a whole lot of stuff, like a whole bunch of clothes and stuff like that. So I was like, let me just post it on Mercari and see what happens. But I think even with Mercari, I did really well when I was posting or when I was active with that as part of a side hustle, so to speak. But I told myself, I'm going to put that stuff up on Mercari. If it doesn't sell within like a month or two, I am deleting all that stuff, taking it to the Salvation Army and being done with it. So even with that, I'm not trying to do it, a whole lot. I'm just like, okay, let me see what sells in these first 1 or 2 months. Whatever sells, great. Whatever doesn't, shoot, we getting rid of it one way or the other because it cannot stay in my home. Okay. So, but that brings me to my point. With all the different side hustles, sometimes a lot of people will confuse a side hustle with a business. Just because you are doing a side hustle, that does not mean that you have a business. Some side hustles can be businesses, and some side hustles are just a side hustle where you do not really dictate your schedule. You really do not dictate the amount of work you receive or the work you get. Even with some of the mystery shopping, like I really wouldn't consider that a business. It is a side hustle because I am still at the will of the companies that are posting the assignments, and then I have to see if I get the assignments. Same thing with the notary work. I consider that more, it can be a business, notary work. But if you are doing how I first started off doing the notary stuff with doing like loan signings and things of that nature, where I was reliant on those signing services, waiting for the signing services to send out notices, and then when they did send out a notice, responding to it and waiting for them to choose me or trying to contact them so that they can choose me. I do not consider that a business. I consider that a side hustle because I am not in control of, the amount of business I get. I am reliant on these people. Yes, with the notary work, the more companies you sign up with, the more notifications you'll probably get, which will increase your business in that particular sense. But unless you make inroads with these people and say, hey, I want to be your preferred notary, and they're guaranteeing that they're giving you X amount of jobs a year or a month or whatever, then I still consider that a side hustle. Now, if you're doing your notary business where you are doing like going out and doing general notary work, you're actively recruiting, I won't say recruiting, but trying to market to the public and trying to get business that way, then yes, it can be considered as a business. But if you are not in control of the amount of clients that you get, like if your marketing does not necessarily result in you getting more clients, that is not a business. You are just a 1099 employee or a 1099 worker because you're not really considered an employee of the company. You're just 1099. So I think some people think that they have a business when in the real sense, all they have is a side hustle. Because a business, you control your marketing, you control the amount of clients that you reach out to, you kind of control the amount of work or the amount of jobs that you can potentially get based on your marketing efforts. Like you're not waiting on someone else to say, hey, this is what we have available and we need you to go out there and do it. That is just being a 1099 worker, okay? That is not necessarily having a business per se in my perspective. Some of you may disagree, but in my perspective, it's kind of like Uber, or if you do like Uber, even if you do like DoorDash or Uber Eats, you are not responsible for getting those clients. Like you are on an app and the app is telling you, hey, this particular person needs, you to pick them up if you are an Uber driver, or this particular person needs you to bring their food to them if you're doing like DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that. But you essentially are not going out there recruiting customers, recruiting clients to come to the service or to the platform. And even if you are marketing for like DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get those clients. So just know that you may be doing a side hustle, but just because you have a side hustle, it does not necessarily mean that you have a business. When you have a business, you essentially are in control of your marketing. You are in control of how you attract clients. You are in control of how you kind of can generate your money. And I wanted to make sure we make that distinction, because essentially when you do have a business, you are not just a business owner. You are just not whatever your skill set is, whatever your talent is. You are not just delivering upon that, but essentially what you are a marketer, because that is essentially what sells. It doesn't matter how good your product is. It doesn't matter how good your service is. If you are not marketing, if people do not know about what you have, it really doesn't matter, because I won't say nobody, but it's highly unlikely for people to come to see you if you're not doing some form of marketing to attract clients and attract customers. So when you have a business, you essentially become a marketer or a marketing person. Okay. So just know that with the side hustle, you might not have to do any marketing. You don't have to do a whole lot of stuff. And the marketing is not directly related to you essentially getting more clients. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let me see. I see we have a couple of comments. So let me see what's going on. Let me scroll up. All right. Let's see. Okay. ZPMB welcome. This is my first time seeing you here. Says peace and love to everyone in the chat and supporting the information. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining. And Still Rocks has the key symbol up there. And I'm just going to call you TV. TV is saying we are in here according to Still Rocks. And then Notary World says, I make the most of my money with ink fingerprinting and general notary work, especially POAs and estate planning. That is awesome. Now, with what you said, Notary World, that aspect of the notary, I would consider that a business. It's like the loan signings, unless you're in a state where you can actively, and like I'm in South Carolina and Georgia, and where we cannot actively, go out and do loan signings. Like usually an attorney has to be involved in that kind of stuff. But if you are in a state where you can actively market your loan signing services or something like that to a title company or to what is an escrow company or something like that, then yeah, I can look at it more as a business. But definitely what you're saying, like you could post stuff about fingerprinting, you can post stuff about general notary work. You are essentially attracting your clients and they are coming to you. You are not waiting on some third party, some intermediary to say, hey, we have this business for you, and can you service this person? You're not waiting for them to necessarily contact you with business, even though I know there are a few companies out there, like with the fingerprinting, they might reach out to you and say, hey, we need to get fingerprinting done for this particular client. But typically with the fingerprinting and stuff, and definitely with general notary work, you are going out there doing your marketing and attracting your own customers, clients, and things of that nature. So if that's how you have it set up, then I definitely consider that a business and not necessarily a side hustle. Now, I'm not saying that, and I'm not making this distinction to knock one or the other, because as a side hustle, you could be a 1099 employee or you can be a W-2 employee or whatever. But just knowing there are just different approaches that you have to take when you actually have a business. And that is what is going to be the focus of the tips and strategies that I'm going to be talking about coming up, as well as what I observed when I went to these different festivals over the past couple of weekends. As a business owner, like I said, you are a marketer. So you are responsible for attracting your customers and your clients to you. You can't just sit and wait for the business to come to you or wait for somebody to tell you you have some business or they need you to come service somebody or provide a product to somebody or something like that. That is not being a business. And I say that because I think when some people start a business that might have started off as a side, like they did it on the side as a side hustle, but it's really truly a business that they're operating, they come from it from that mindset. Like they come from it with that employee mindset. Like I'm waiting for my employer to tell me these are my job responsibilities. This is what I need to do. And then I'm going to deliver on this service. But once you have created a business, you cannot do that. You are responsible for attracting these clients. And that was the biggest thing that I saw at these festivals. So many people, I talked to y'all at InvestFest, only one person actually like stopped me in the marketplace to tell me about their services. Only one person did that. One person out of the hundreds of vendors that I saw. And I went through the market. I went through every row of the marketplace at InvestFest on Friday, just walking through to see what was there. Now I was back in the marketplace the following days because the way they had it set up, which was really a good setup. They had food trucks out there, but they also had like a little food court kind of set up. And in order to get to the food court, you had to walk past or walk through the vendors. So there was opportunities for people to, stop. Like they designed it so that people are going to pass through your business or at least see you or see the marketplace and possibly visit different booths and things of that nature in order to get food, because they know people are going to have to eat one way or the other. They're going to eat. So the way they had it set up was a very nice design. So for them to kind of try and give you that little easy layup and you're still not partaking or reaching out to people, it does a disservice to your business. And I don't know how much these people paid to have booths there for like the weekend or whatever. But if you spent your money to be set up someplace and like at InvestFest, they said like over 10,000 people came to InvestFest. So you have the potential of seeing 10,000 people and you're not stopping and talking to people. And like I said, I went through on Friday when it wasn't busy. I won't say it wasn't busy, but it really wasn't busy. Like a lot of people, myself included, if I didn't have to do my pitch, I wasn't going to really come until Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday are definitely the more high traffic days. So it's like you're not flooded or not overflowing with a whole bunch of people or customers coming in, or it's not that you had a whole bunch of people at your booth already that you were already talking to, and that's why you didn't talk to me or whatever, or you didn't stop or tell me about your business. No, they were standing back there, sitting back there, talking to themselves or whatever, or just kind of looking and not stopping people. And as a business owner, you cannot do that. You have to share your business with as many people as possible. And like I talked about it before, like I don't know if I did it on one of these lives or if I just did it as like a quick little shorts topic or whatever. You cannot be the best kept secret. You cannot be the best kept secret. You have to tell people about your business. That's why I say marketing is what sells. You can have the best product, the best service, whatever it is. But if nobody knows about you, if you're the best kept secret, no one will get the benefit of it. Now, I know I'm gonna make some people upset. Y'all know I'm team Android. I'm not team iPhone, but I definitely will give kudos to iPhone because iPhone has some of the best marketing strategies. They have brainwashed y'all to think that y'all's phone is the best, and y'all look. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna be nice, but y'all be looking a little crazy to me when y'all be bragging about stuff. Oh, the new iPhone has this, and like we already had that. Like why are you bragging about something that came out that we had since last year? But the reason why is because their marketing is so on point, so good that they done sold you on something. They done made you believe that something was new, when in fact it's just new to you, but it's old to us Android people. Like we've had this before, like we were able to do this before, all that kind of stuff. But their marketing is so good, their marketing strategies are so good that it has y'all believing that they have the best product out there or the best product available. So that's why as a business, People aren't just going to know about your product. They're just not going to know about your service. You have to tell them, you have to share with them why you are the greatest thing, why you are the best thing, why someone should choose you and choose your product or choose your service. You can't just sit back and think people are going to walk up to you and be interested. Now, granted, that can happen. If there is a motivated customer, a motivated client who is looking for a specific thing or a specific product or a specific service, and they see, hey, oh, your t-shirts are really cute, I think I want one. But just because, I know for me, as the type of buyer that I am, just because I see a cute t-shirt, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to buy it. There were a lot of cute t-shirts that I saw at InvestFest. But that doesn't mean I can buy all of them. I can't necessarily support every different vendor who has a t-shirt or something that I like. I have to think, okay, if you came up to me and you told me your story behind it and this t-shirt was created because of X, Y, and Z, then that might compel me to be more willing to spend my money on this cute t-shirt that I saw. But if it's just like, oh, I see this cute t-shirt and I'm walking past, unless I really want to get something, unless I really want to spend my money, unless I really want to say, look what I got from InvestFest or something like that, chances are I'm not going to come up to your booth. Also, I saw at InvestFest, like there was a lot of different, like soaps and creams and, different skincare. I don't even know, the little hygiene products and stuff like that, like soaps and facial stuff and things of that nature. And I'm sure there were great ones out there, but I didn't really come to InvestFest to get a new soap or a new lotion or, some other like little smell good or some candle or something like that. I didn't really come to InvestFest for that. Now, would I have been inclined to buy something like that if someone had stopped me and it smelled really, really good and they told me about it and I wanted to support them? Probably so. I probably would have went ahead and bought something, but nobody stopped me. Nobody told me about their product. Nobody, did anything or shared any information with me. Like I think I shared with y'all, only one person stopped me and they were telling me about their book that they had. And if it was a book, if it was a genre that I actually was interested in, it was like more sci-fi, and I don't really do all that. But if it was a genre that I was interested in, I probably would have bought his book. I probably would have supported him or whatever. But I didn't. But like I shared before, I kindly listened to his speech, kindly listened to what he had to say, listened to what he had to share. And I said, I wish you the best. It sounds great. I wish you the best. You enjoy the rest of your day. And I politely walked off or whatever. So like I'll give you the opportunity to do your spiel. I'll give you the opportunity to practice. And that's the other thing. As a small business, when you are in these types of situations or settings, this is your opportunity to get them reps in. This is your time to put in the work. Figure out what you're going to say. Figure out what's your hook. What's going to motivate someone to buy. Practice on these people that you're not going to see again, okay? Who not, that it doesn't really matter. Like it's not like in your hometown or something like that where you might run into them again if you did horribly. Hopefully you won't do horribly, but let's say if you did so poorly, you're like, man, I really messed up that sales opportunity because I was just fumbling over my words or whatever. These are just people that you probably are not going to see again. So practice your sales pitch, practice on them, see what entices them, what brings them in, what is going to motivate them to buy. But if you're not practicing things, if you're not saying, hey, come on over here or whatever, then people are going to walk on by. And I observed the same thing when I was at like the food truck festival, which I know most people who go to the food truck festival, we go in there to eat. We're trying to see all the different stuff that you have. But if you don't have anyone in front of your booth or whatever, or no one's at your food truck and you are standing outside and you're visible to the people, at least speak to the people who pass you by. I can't stand when people just look at me and don't say anything. And this also happened at InvestFest too. Like, let me know what you have, or like, do you have any questions about any of our menu items, anything like that? Because, you want to make money. I think all of us have come out here, to make money, or you're set up because you want to make money. So open up your mouth, ask for what you want to see if you might entice someone over. And you just never know who you might speak to, they might be like, oh, they were so nice, they were so kind, let me go ahead and support them. But if you never open up your mouth, if you never share what you have, if you never even just seem friendly, then people may not support you, or they're going to go over to the next booth or whatever. Especially like with a food truck, if there are people selling similar things that you have or whatever, and you have no customers, you have no line, you have no line outside of your outside of your booth or outside of your food truck, and you see people and you don't say anything to them, and you know that there are, let's just use for example, because I had some great lemonade. So let's say you sell lemonade or whatever, and it's 4 or 5 other people out here selling lemonade, and you don't say anything to the person who is like looking to see, oh, I wonder what kind of lemonade they have, or what, all the things, and you don't say anything to them, I could very easily go to the next booth that has lemonade, because it's too many options already. So what is going to distinguish you from the next person that has lemonade? You just having that conversation could be the distinguishing factor, especially if you have nothing out there to entice me. Now, that brings me to my next point, especially with the food vendors, as well as some of the vendors at InvestFest as well. The food vendors that really got my attention were the ones that had displays of the food out there. Like, y'all should know the marketing strategies that are available. If you go to the mall, it's a Saturday. I hardly ever go to the mall, but if you go to the mall, I know for a fact, whatever Chinese restaurant, Japanese restaurant, they're going to be giving out samples. They're going to have samples here for you to try. And chances are, when you're hungry and you went through that food court, and you usually, I know for me, when I go to the food court, it's like, I don't know what I want. I don't know. But they give you that little sample, and you're like, that was good. Let me try them out or whatever. Like, you gotta do something to distinguish yourself. You gotta help somebody make that decision whether or not they are going to buy or support you. And sometimes, giving out that sample, saying something to somebody, showing your food on display. And that's also with a lot of those Asian restaurants too. Like, you can see their food is all laid out versus the other places where maybe they're cooking the food in the back or whatever. But they have their food out on display for you to easily see, and for you to be enticed, like, oh, what was that? What kind of chicken was that? Oh, that's that one. Yeah, give me that one. I want that one over there. And you can easily see it. So put it on display. Make sure you have a nice, whether it's food, a product, a service, whatever. Put it on display. Make it enticing for people to want to come over and see what you have to offer. Another thing I observed at InvestFest, there were some booths. These are of probably the bigger businesses and things of that nature. They made it fun. They made it interactive. They had different things going on, like games. There was people giving massages. It was like an experience. They had music playing, different things of that nature. So they had stuff to kind of entice you and draw you in. So even if you didn't like the product, maybe you like the music, and you're like, oh, what is this? Let me check them out, because I'm really feeling this beat or whatever, and let me see what they had. So be creative, be strategic in how you can entice people to your business, or to try and buy your product or service that you have. Okay, so that is what I noted so far at the different festivals I went to these past weekends and everything. Let me make sure I don't have any comments. Hopefully all of this is making sense to you. And this is why I say, if you are a business owner, whatever product, whatever service you offer, yes, you have to deliver on that product or service, but before you can even deliver the product or service that you're providing, you have to be a marketer first. You have to market it. And that is the key to getting customers. That is the key to getting sales. And with marketing, you can't just market it one time. You can't just make one little post. You can't just have one little flyer. You can't just make one little video saying, yes, I have this new business, come out and support, and then don't post anything or don't tell anybody else about it for months later and expect people to support you. it's not going to work that way, or it's not going to turn out the way that you think. Yes, there are going to be some people who will support you initially because they've been waiting for your business to be open. But chances are the people who have been waiting for your business to be open, or are eager to support your business, it's because they already know the service or the product that you provide. They have already experienced it. They have already seen it for themselves, what you have to offer. And so they're gung ho and ready. Oh, you finally got it up and running? Yes, I'm definitely going to be there, which is a testament to why you have to keep marketing over and over and over to people who have not experienced your business. They might see it one time. It might not be the right time for them to support you. So you have to keep showing up and showing your business to different people so that when it is their right time to buy, they'll be like, oh yeah, let me go and support her, or let me go and support him. I remember they had this great t-shirt, or they have this great catering business. Let me use them for the family cookout or the family reunion or whatever it is. Let me go and support them because I see that they're marketing on a regular basis. Well, and they're not going to say it in that language. I see they're marketing on a regular basis. They're not going to use that language, but in their head, they're going to be saying, I see they have products out. They keep showing the different products they have out. They had that one little cute product that I really like. I wonder if they can do it like this for me, for this particular event that I'm having. You have to show them what you have and what you provide and how you help people. So doing that will attract your customers and your clients to you. But if you're not doing that on a regular basis, as well as on a consistent basis, then you're not going to attract the people that you want. Also, you want to make sure that your pricing is aligned with the service and the products that you provide, as well as making sure that you are going to get a return on your investment. So I already know as a consumer, if I go to, like when I went to Invest Fest, when I went to the food truck festival, I already know in order for me to support these different businesses, I am going to be paying a little bit higher price than what I would probably normally pay if I went and got a t-shirt at a store, or got some food at a regular restaurant or something like that, because these are small businesses. So don't try and price yourself so low that you're not making money just to attract a client. You want to make sure you have paid vendor fees to be set up at different places, or you've invested in different spaces for you to be in, as well as your investment in your product, your time for your service, whatever it is. So make sure you're not only covering the price of your product or your service, but you are actually making money. That's what a business is. A business is we are set up to make money. That is the main point. We want to be able to make money. So don't just think that you have to have the lowest price in order to attract a client or a customer. Like we talked about before, it's like you need to know your worth, know your value, know the value that you're providing to the individual person. Like, hey, I make these great cakes, or I make these great, I don't know, fish sandwiches, whatever it is. I know that I can assign this particular price to it because I stand behind my product and I know that it is good. Now, also, you can't price yourself out and make yourself like too high or too expensive or whatever. You definitely have to know your market and do your market research. But sometimes people will lowball themselves just to try and get a sale. But do you really want to get a sale, or do you really want to make money? That's the thing. So know what your margins are so that you can make sure that you are making money and not just lowering your price just to try and generate a sale. There are some instances where, yes, you might want to take a loss on a product and lower a price just to get more clients in the door so that you can market to them later. But usually that is not something you do on the regular basis. That's why stores will have sales to get rid of certain stuff. They need to get money in so that they can get new inventory or cover the inventory that they've already had, but they are still making money. They know that they cannot cut the price so low that they actually end up losing out on the money that they make, unless they have another objective in mind. Like, hey, even though we're going to lose out on this, this is going to generate people coming in the door, and then they're going to see this other stuff we have and spend money on that, and the money they spend on this will make up for the money we lost on that. So just be mindful of that when it comes to your pricing, because sometimes we will just discount our price just because we are not making sales. You need to ask yourself, why am I not making sales? Am I not making sales because I'm the best kept secret and I haven't told anybody about my business or about my product or my service that I have to offer? Or am I not making sales because I don't have the right pricing? Chances are you're probably not making sales because not enough people know about your product or service, or it's not meeting, or you haven't identified the right clients and customers who need your product. Sometimes we are selling to people who cannot benefit from the product or service that we have. Like, and this might hurt your feelings, because I know my feelings have got hurt with this as well. You up there trying to sell stuff to like your friends and family, they don't really need this stuff, okay? They may support you. They may buy it just to say, because you're their friend or whatever, or that's your family member, but they're not your ideal client that you want to see, that you're going to keep seeing on a regular basis. So sometimes with our businesses, you might have this influx at the beginning, like, oh yeah, I made this money when I first opened up my business. But was that because it was just your friends and family supporting, and you're riding off of the high of that, but you haven't really gone out there? You haven't really done the work to identify who your ideal client is, who is going to be the main one that is going to be supportive of your business and generate repeat business for you. So you gotta ask yourself these questions when it comes to business. And that's why at the very beginning, you need to distinguish if you have a side hustle where you're just like a 1099 employee or a W-2 employee, or do you actually have a business where you are the one attracting the client, and because you have to do the marketing. Because in those side hustles where you're just a 1099 or a W-2, someone else is doing that work for you. Someone else is causing that ideal client to come to you to generate the business. But when you are your own business, you have to put in that work to identify who your ideal client is. Where do they hang out? What do they like to consume? What kind of money do they have? Like, what is their income? What are they able to afford? How big of a pain point is my product or service that I provide that is going to make them want to buy? When you are a business, you have to do all of that yourself. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot as a business owner that you have to do. And sometimes you can blame your lack of success on something else, like nobody wants to support me. Nobody's supporting my business, when that might not be the case. You're not marketing. You may not be marketing your business. And if you are marketing your business, if you say, yeah, I've been posting on my Instagram page, I've been posting on Facebook, I even got on TikTok and I'm posting on there. But who the heck are you marketing to? Are you marketing to people who are actually your ideal client? If only your people on your Facebook IG page are seeing it, those are your friends and family. Like, do you know if they even need what you have to offer? Or have you tried to go out and find who are the people that I need to attract, who can benefit from my business? So just be mindful of that. So those were some takeaways from that. Now, one last thing that I did see, and I saw this both at InvestFest and at the Food Truck Festival. I saw some hustlers out there. There were some people, they didn't have a booth. They didn't have a food truck, but they said, I know there's going to be people here, and this is my opportunity to let people know about my business. This was definitely seen at InvestFest. So much so, like, it was just a bunch. To me, it was like it was a lot of noise, so it could be kind of hard for your business to break through the noise. So I say there were a lot of people just passing out. They had like postcards and stuff like that, because like in order to get into at InvestFest, in order to get into like the actual workshops or seminars, where the speakers were, you had to show that you had your wristband on to show that that's where you're supposed to go. But as well as for the vendor marketplace. But there is an open area, like before you go into the different spaces where the speakers and stuff are, where anyone can pretty much come into. So businesses were out there passing out like, hey, here's my information. I'm a realtor. Here's my information. I have a t-shirt company. Here's my information. I wrote a book or whatever. Those were some hustlers. What they did is they knew it's a bunch of people coming to ATL for InvestFest. Let me go where the people are and let me see how many people I can impact and how many people I can actually reach and share my business with them. So I saw that a lot. People giving me just, random postcards with different information and stuff like that on it. It's definitely a good networking opportunity. So I always say, even if you don't have it, everyone, if you are a small business, definitely check out InvestFest next year if you are able to attend. And even if you can't set up a booth, just being able to see the different people and possibly pass out your information there. You never know who might support your business. Now, if you don't have a booth, of course, if you have like products and stuff like that, it's going to be harder for them to buy it. But if you have a service-based business, passing out your information, and if it's a service-based business that is like digital or like online, then yes, you have a more likely, and not like something that's a brick and mortar that's set to a specific location. You have a good chance of reaching out to different people who are coming to InvestFest. Now, I also saw this at the food truck festival, but not as much. I only had one person come up to me and pass out a postcard, and I was so happy for her. And she was actually she was actually a broker. So, a real estate agent who now has their own brokerage and everything like that. And she actually said that she services South Carolina and Georgia. So, and she does investment properties and stuff like that. So guess what? I definitely held on to her information. Now, do I need it right now at this moment? No, but in the near future, I probably would say, hey, I remember you gave me this information a while back. And you said, and I remember she even told me her story, like it's her and her son who run the brokerage and everything. So it's like a family-based business. It's something I would want to support. So she passed out her information. I was like, look at her. I was like, good for her. She sees us, I was standing in line waiting on some food, and she was like, can I share my information with you? So even her approach, because I will say this, her approach was definitely more professional than what I saw a lot of people doing at InvestFest. Some people at InvestFest, yes, they would try and talk to you, and as they're giving you the information. Other people, they just like passing it out, like, like here you go. And it's like now I will say for me, this is just me and my personality. When you do that, guess what? When you just hand me the card like this and don't even say nothing to me, I'm more inclined to do the same thing you just did and just like toss it somewhere. But when you hand me the card and you say something, like here's my information. If you need to check it out, even something as small as that, then I am more likely to hold on to that card instead of being like, I'm tossing it away. A lot of people were also just putting their cards on the tables that were in like the food court section at InvestFest, which I said that's like a lot of noise to break through, because like literally we would sit down at a table and there would have to be at least 40 to 50 postcards on the daggone table from all different people in, businesses and that kind of thing. So with that, it's hard to break through the noise. And someone who actually takes the time to break through the noise by passing out their card and saying something to me about their business and why I should support them, it's more likely for me to keep the card that they handed out. Also, regarding the cards that were just sitting on the table, like it just looked like a big old mess of stuff that was on the table. Now, if I was to do that, if I was going to have my card on the table, I'm going to make sure it's like some bright pink, bright orange, bright yellow, some kind of card that is going to stand out and capture somebody's attention really quickly, and have some kind of like headline on there that is also going to capture your attention really, really quickly, so that you're more inclined to pick up my card. All of them, they were like black, white card. It was just like a regular card that nothing really stood out for me to be like, this business looks interesting. So guess what? Those cards stayed on the table, which also tells me chances are a lot of other people did the same thing I did not even pay attention to the cards that were on the table. Okay. So when it comes to marketing, you do have to be strategic in how you capture people's attention. Make sure you put some effort into it. Make sure you are reaching out to the right people who do want your product or service. And even if the person does not make purchase your product or your service or whatever, like I said, this is your time to put the reps in. This is your time to practice your pitch. This is your time to practice your speech of what you're saying to people and seeing what lands, what doesn't land, what you need to change, what you need to modify, what caused people to respond very well to it, and what like you were like, this did not translate into someone buying. But when I said this, people were more inclined to buy. And the last thing I'm going to share before I wrap up is that when you do these kinds of events, when you go out to these different places, or if you're marketing your business or you have a day where you do marketing, make sure you have some way to assess how you did. Like even with my husband at the food truck festival, based off of some of the things we saw or that I observed or whatever, I was like, hey, if you do this next year, you should do X, Y, and Z. Because he was sharing with me like he would like to make do more sales in like a certain area. And I was like, well, if you want to make more sales in a certain area, then I would suggest you do this thing so that people can have this particular experience, and then they'll be more inclined to buy or whatever. So we did well at the food truck festival, but even when you do well, always assess what worked, what didn't work. Oftentimes it's like when we do bad, either we're like, oh, we'll blame somebody else for why we did bad. Or that's also or if we are proactive, we'll look at, okay, what were the mistakes that I made and how can I improve upon them? But don't just assess yourself when things go bad, but also when things go really, really well. Assess that stuff as well too, so that you can duplicate it or make little tweaks or changes so that it can be an even greater success. Okay. So always take a step back, no matter how good or how bad you did in business, to say, hey, what's working? What's not working? What do we need to add? What do we need to cut out? How do we need to adjust? Because every day you should be learning and growing and perfecting your business so that you can be better and better. And finally, when you do get to the point where your business is growing and you're doing well, you want to make sure you're growing in a way that you can sustain your success. There is, and this is part of the reason why I am not doing as much notary work as I wanted to, because I got into this, and this is me reflecting and observing on how I did. I got into this at a time where, like, things were shut down. I wasn't as busy in my business, or I will say this, I was also trying to make sure I had a way to generate an additional stream of income. And I was really more focused on that. Now that my business is doing well, and not saying it wasn't doing well before, but now that it's doing well and it's continuing to do well, and because of that, I don't have that same urgency as I did about generating some extra income, because I'm like, okay, I just want to have, time to myself or whatever. I realized the way that I grew my notary business, I'm successful, but I did not grow it in a way for me to sustain the success. What I mean by that, at one point, just like I said, I've gotten calls over the weekend, over this past week, and all the calls that I've gotten, I've turned down. I've said I'm not available to provide the notary services to you. All of the calls I've turned down. And I did not grow my business in a way where I balanced my time and the workload. So now I'm successful, or I was successful in my business, but I'm not able to sustain the success because I didn't factor in, hey, you can't keep running at this pace. Like, yes, Early on, that pace was okay for you, but now you don't want to run at that pace anymore, and you haven't designed your business in a way for you it to continue to grow at the pace that it's set at. So now it's like, yes, I did such a great job in attracting people and making sure that people would reach out to me and contact me for their notary services. But now I'm like, I don't want to keep running at that pace anymore. So I didn't design it in a way for me to be able to sustain my success. So be mindful of that when you are successful. Are you going to be able to sustain that success? Are you still going to be able to run at that same pace? And sometimes you'll know, sometimes you won't know. You might be like, yeah, I'm fine with working, this amount out. And y'all, to be honest with y'all too, and I told y'all, I don't even work a lot in the business as well. Like, it was only like maybe an extra 10 to 15 hours a month that my notary business would compromise or take up in my time. But even with that, it's like, I don't want to do like I don't want to do that anymore. It's like, I don't even want to have like the interactions. Like, tell me you need an apostille or something like that, something I can do really at my own pace, at my own time, or something like that. So just know, when you're growing a business, make sure you still want to run at the pace that you set in the beginning. Now, keep in mind, in the beginning, yes, you're going to be working some long hours to get stuff up and running and things of that nature. And that's just on like the back end stuff, maybe not even on like client delivery or product delivery or anything like that. But once you start getting those sales, getting those customers, is this the pace that you want to run at? And if it's not, then you have to find a way for you to either scale down and remove yourself from the business, or bring somebody else in who can help you sustain your success at that same pace, or reduce it down where you're not going to be as successful as you were before, because it's just you. So ideally, I would have liked for, maybe I should have did more, I don't know, because like I said, I still get apostille requests and things of that nature, which is what I like, but I still get a lot of the general notary work requests and stuff, which in the beginning is what helped as well too. So you just have to be strategic when it comes to business marketing, as well as your business forecasting. Just like with me, oftentimes we get caught up in that moment or in that season. In that season, we're like, how can I grow? How can I be successful? And we're not looking the next season ahead or 2 seasons ahead to see, is this sustainable growth? Is this sustainable success? Do I still want to continue at this same pace and at this same rate? Especially if you have another business, or especially if you have another job. Because like with me having my other business, even that, like now, like we're just growing at a more rapid pace in that business. And then my side hustle business was still growing at a pretty steady pace too. And so I didn't factor in when that they both would be, growing and taking off, and how I could kind of balance the two and everything. So of course, the side hustle, it got cut because my main business is my main business or whatever. But yeah, just be mindful of that. But the key to being successful in your business, I said it before, I'm saying it again, I'm going to keep saying it, is that you have to be a good marketer. You have to know how to market. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how great your product is. You have to be able to market. And that's to say, like, even if you have some kind of talent, even if you have some kind of skill, if you know someone who is a great singer or something like that, if they are not marketing their talent, if they are not booking gigs and booking shows, I don't care how great of a singer they are, they're not going to make money from their talent or their skill because they're not marketing themselves. And also, I just heard this just today on a podcast, that someone said hard work will always outbeat talent. So that's another thing. No matter how talented you are, there is going to be someone who can outwork you. And if they outwork you, that hard work, then even though they might be inferior or they might have a mediocre product or something like that, because they put the hard work in, they can outbeat talent. And going back to that iPhone analogy, like iPhone has definitely outworked Android. They don't have, in my opinion, they do not have a superior product. They don't. But in terms of marketing, they've definitely outworked Android, Samsung specifically, because that's what I have, in terms of people knowing what they have to offer and everything. All right. But I am going to wrap it up. Let me see. Do I have any comments? Okay, so this was earlier. I see. TV was just responding to Notary World, so that is good. All right, thank y'all so much for joining me on this Side Hustle Saturday. I hope it was helpful for you. If y'all want to hear more business tips, strategies from me, then let me know. I'll definitely be willing to share this with a friend, family member, whoever you think can benefit from it. So that they can get the information. And just like I said, as a business owner, you are a marketer first. So I have to say this: if you do need business coaching from me, I do take a few clients. I do have a few clients. Once again, my time is very limited, but definitely if you go to my YouTube page, I have the links if you do want to get business coaching from me as well. All right. So I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the rest of your weekend. Take care, guys.